Not sure how long I'll stay, but my tolerance of gold bullcrap is wearing thin. But I'll stick around to hear what I can. This is understandable. This is understandable, man. But yeah, that's what happened to me today. But enough about that. You know what's cool? Let's talk about let's not talk about some global stuff. Let's talk about some interesting little drama shit. Hey, do you guys know Nicki Minaj? Do y'all know Nicki Minaj? I'm curious if you do. Not her. Yes, her. Absolutely her. Who now? You don't know Nicki Minaj? That's kind of crazy. So I didn't expect you of all people. Unfortunately, yes. Not her. Who now? Unfortunately, yes. This is quiet. Her name, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go over and like actually turn this down. So the thing about Nicki Minaj, right, is the fact that a lot of her fan base was LGBT, right? Right? That's cool. However, there's been in the past month, there's been some some recent events that they've been in, talking about with specific people. No, there's one in particular with let me see here, Erica Kirk. Let me pause her. Let me pause the thing here. There's one with Erica Kirk. She's fucking up the country charts in quite a flat. She was fucking up the country charts in quite a pleasant way. Oh, you know what? True. Fair enough. Fair enough. You right. You right. You right.
I mean, you're an amazing mother.
Let me see here. Let me see here. There was the whole thing about her. She went to this event, right? I don't want to just react to a video and shit. You know what? I may actually just keep the Xenoblade music going. Yeah, we'll get the Xenoblade music going. But Nicki Minaj specifically stated a thing in this tournament. In this tournament, I'm so used to talking about tournaments. In this event, that stated, actually, no, give me a minute. Let me see if I can find the actual quote. Let me see if I can find the actual quote on for real.
Say what you want to say because I know your heart. I will not judge that.
Sister. Thank you. For boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay.
Boys be boys. It's
Nothing
okay.
wrong with being a boy.
Amen.
How about that?
Amen.
So obviously that sounds relatively fine on paper until you realize that a lot of the stuff they've been saying online has been very anti-trans taken. So that gains a bit of an interesting context with the whole, boys be boys kind of minding. So, and for a while there, that was it, right? Essentially, yeah, it's very don't be very trans woman coded. Yes, absolutely. And that was it for a while. And I don't think I would have talked about it if it was just that, because like I don't because it's not very recent, right? Everyone knows at this point, like it's been like a month, right? That's cool. Except a few days ago, there was a wonderful little event that happened. There was an interesting little event that happened. Where they're up on the thing. I think I forget exactly what this is about.
Hello.
Hang on a minute here. I want to see this.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that
Where's the quote?
I am probably the president's #1 fan.
Yep, there it is. There was the quote that was popular. So they are talking about the Alliance Summit, and they went over to this event, and they held the hand of shook hands with our esteemed president Donald. I think it's Donald J. Trump. Is it Donald J. Trump? orange man that puts on orange makeup to look more orange because he's fucking inside and out. He's fucking decaying, I guess. Excuse me, what? Yeah, this was an event. So they got over and they're talking about pretty much congratulating him on this what is it called? On this whole launch summit thing, right? Which was interesting because there was, oh, give me a sec. She has passed anti-Trump quotes, so this is a non-consistent stance, which makes everything feel more fake. I didn't even know that. Well, I hadn't followed Nicki Minaj at all, really, so I didn't know that. But that's interesting. Did not know that they had anti-Trump quotes in the past. So, and then, so people were asking, well, that's interesting, because why is this happening? Because I can understand just going in for the grift, right? You want money. It's stupid because of all of your trans, your LGBT people that you've been riding the wave of for your entire career. So, let me turn back on the Xenoblade music. So, what happened exactly? What's going on? What's going on here? What's going on here? Well, it turns out there's some interesting tea, folks. Oh. I keep doing that. See, Nicki Minaj got something that day. What did they get? Not only a handhold with the world's most accepted predator, but they got this. Now, this is what is called a Trump Gold Card. And what it does is it is a fast track in from December that gives wealthy immigrants U.S. citizenship. And now things start to make a lot more sense, huh? So, Nicki Minaj is an immigrant. Not only that, she also has and this one's gonna be a legend because I don't have evidence of this, apparently has a very similar to Trump husband? So, they're trying to figure out a way to get them out, right? So what happened was what I am seeing and my theory. This is my theory, right? Absolutely no real evidence to this particular point. I'm gonna go back down. Here we go. No particular evidence to this particular point. But my theory is that since ICE has been going over and getting rid of people, she got scared of the administration. So what did she do? A rational thing in relatively speaking. She went over and tried to figure out the fastest way to get citizenship for her and pardons for her husband at the same time. And how do you do that? Simple. By pleasing him. So that's what I think happened. Now, that in of itself is theory. However, I do want to note that the gold Trump card is about $1,015,000 for U.S. citizenship. She stroked his ego. Absolutely, she stroked his ego. And you know what? That wouldn't surprise me at this point. But with ICE clamping down on I'm using the wording on this thing itself, right? Clamping down on illegal immigrants, as well as, you know, just random US citizens, right? I think she did what she could to try to keep herself safe, as well as her family safe, and I'm using heavy quotation marks here, while at the same time abandoning the entirety of her LGBT audience. Of which, you know what? Damn. I feel bad. All I have to say for this is that I feel bad for those who followed artists. I didn't follow artists when I was younger. I feel bad for people who did, especially people who follow Nicki Minaj, because I know people where they were an inspiration to them, and now this. The gold card is new news. Oh yeah, no, I saw this very recently. That's why I had this here, because this gold card is interesting. It was launched in December, so it's very new. And that's funny because it's very new, as ICE has been going over and killing people in the street. So interesting how that works. It's interesting how that works. Also, we gotta be nice to Lil Nas. What's up with Lil Nas? What's up with Lil Nas? I'm curious now. Do I look this up? Oh, I haven't. Oh, fuck. I need to get that. I need to get that emote. Because I saw that emote and I want to put it on here. Not me now being concerned for one friend and specifically their parent for reasons. Oh, no, absolutely. What happened? Are they, like, more recent Nicki Minaj fans? Or are they, like, fans that were there and are just concerned now because of this? A few months ago, he was put into custody for a mental breakdown. Oh, fuck. See, now there's one of two things, right? See, Dan, here's the problem, right? Since if he was a few months back, he was put into custody for a mental breakdown, this reminds me of a very particular person, and that's Etika. And I think it's actually long enough that people don't know who Etika is. So let me go over and just introduce him. Etika was essentially, I don't want to say particularly this, the black YouTuber. I'm sure you know. I'm positive you know, Dan, but I don't know if everyone else does. Like, I don't wanna say particularly just the black YouTuber, but like it felt like at the time he was like the most popular like black YouTuber. And Etika was like insanely popular in gaming. Yeah, he was the big name black Nintendo Reacts guy. Yeah, that makes more sense. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. You're so more eloquent than me. What the fuck? So he was the like big name black Nintendo Reacts person. And I forget exactly how it went down because it's been a while and I feel bad for that. But he died, unfortunately, due to a lot of shit that happened on the internet. He was dealing with people harassing him. He was dealing with his own mental health and shit. And he tried to play it off on like videos and everything, like everything is cool, but people started to notice things. People started to notice that he wasn't 100% there, right? By his own hand, and ultimately, but yeah, yeah, fair, he dealt with a lot. And at the end of the day, he ended his own life. And it's like, everyone remembers him. Everyone that calls himself the Joy-Con boys are do it in like respect to Etika, because Etika was very respected. Etika was very respected. Literally, as people were talking about, I forget what it was called, like Pyro and Mythla coming to Smash, they were like, oh fuck, Etika would have loved this. And he would have, because he loved Xenoblade 2. But regardless, I'm seeing a very similar story from what you commented about Lil Nas, which is the issue, right? I'm hoping that people don't let another Etika happen, and just, I say that like is a fucking term for that. Like, don't let what happened to Etika happen here, and hopefully talk to him. Like, I like, the small, not as cynical part of me wants to be like, I want to believe in people, but it's hard for me to do that. It's really hard for me to do that, especially nowadays. It's hard for me to do that, but I want to believe. I want to believe that people can help. I want to believe people can help. But that being said, that one wasn't planned. I didn't know about that. I apologize wholeheartedly if it wasn't good, the coverage of it. Oh, here we go. People started to notice, but people went on his videos and did not. Apparently, jokes in an interview ended up being how he did it, which really messed people up. Yeah, it did not. And apparently, jokes in an interview ended up being how he did it. Oh yeah, no, it's fair. Yeah, I didn't know the interview part. I actually didn't know the interview part. I knew that people started to notice. I know that a lot of people on the videos didn't notice, but I didn't know that the interview thing was ending up on how he did it. I didn't see these interviews, so I didn't know. I didn't always watch Etika. There was one point where I actually stopped watching him because of the Rayman leak, because I felt so fucking betrayed. But I came back afterward because that's not Etika's fault. But yeah. That was the whole thing there. I fucking love Etika. I wish he was still here. Well, I honestly wish he didn't have to deal with the fucking bullshit that was going on if he was still here, but I wish he was still here. Yeah. I mean, and while I was technically a guy there, I was a Joy-Con boy at heart. I'm a Joy-Con boy at heart. I fucking love this guy. And I wish him the best if he is anywhere, wherever he is. I am atheist. It's a little weird to say that kind of thing, but if there's an afterlife, I hope he's doing well. What's fucking going on here? Right, there was a Nicki Minaj thing. I got off track. Hell, it's totally my vibe. I'm not on for all the loudness. Oh yeah, that's fair. But he seemed like a great guy when he wasn't being forced to drink for subs. Oh no, he's absolutely one of the funnest creators around. Everyone loved him for a reason. He's fucking good. He was good at his shit. He was good at his shit, dog. Freaking wild. But what else do we have here? What else do we have? Right. Next up, hey, do you guys like people getting arrested? Don't you like people getting arrested for protesting? That's fucking crazy. Gonna notice a lot of ICE things in this fucking video, and that's like for reasons, unfortunately, they're just deciding to go over and fuck everybody up. I love this video on suing Sony for $15. I didn't even see that. Oh fuck, I'd have to see that one actually. I didn't even see that. Oh yeah, so Dawn, gay journalist, their name is Dawn Lemon. They're still alive. Was arrested after an anti-ICE protest in Minnesota. He was observing the protests in the area after Renee Good and Alex Pretty unfortunately perished at the hands of these fucking beautiful little murderers. Fucking I hate these people. But yeah, let me see. What was the thing? I'm trying to remember what the thing was. / look at it through the article. Because I saw exactly why he got arrested, but I'm forgetting. Give me a sec. I'm bad at this. Yeah, he was arrested for charges that he violated federal law. Because apparently journalism is violating the federal law now. Off Track is a very funny last name, yeah. Them and the 7 non-white people they don't tell us about. Oh, absolutely. I didn't know about the other people. Obviously, I only learned about this today, to be quite honest with you. And obviously, that's because I was going through Pink News for stories today. But yeah, freaking, that's so annoying. But yeah, no, Lemon is a funny last name. I love Dawn Lemon. Dawn Lemon's name is so fucking good. But what is it called? Yeah, freaking Lemon was going over and got arrested for apparently violating federal law, which is just him protesting essentially with people, and he got arrested. I guess along with the 7 other people that armed him. Very Earl of Lemongrab, absolutely, absolutely. I love Lemongrab. But yeah, and also the 7 other non-white people they won't talk about, I guess. I'm assuming this one's focusing on them because of, them being gay. Because, it is, like, news relating to the LGBT. Makes enough sense. But yeah. The lawyer is trying to fight charges. They are thinking, if I remember correctly. Oh, and this one's funny. The reason I talked about Nicki Minaj earlier is because they actually had a open and public feud with Nicki Minaj after the #1 fan shit. Oh, I mean 7 non-white people killed, not arrested. Oh, fuck. Yo, what are their names, Dan? Do you know their names? I legitimately haven't heard about this. Do you know their names? This is what happens when you have to go to work and, like, do shit and are not as able to look at the stuff there. I'll grab him 1 sec. Thank you. I appreciate... Yo, Dan, you're amazing. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. Grabs more views. Disgusting. No, true. Well, I mean, it's not that it grabs more views. If it was for grabbing more views, they would talk about the other people, right? Because 8 people sounds more crazy than 1 person getting arrested. I mean, this one does it because it's LGBT news, right? And I'm assuming the other ones weren't LGBT. So it makes enough sense that Pink News wouldn't just talk about everyone else. They would talk about the one that pertains to the audience that they're talking to. It makes enough sense. A lot of the news there is for, like, LGBT stuff. But yeah. Oh, no. I know about Keith. I know about Keith Porter. Okay, the black name Keith Porter, a Cambodian man named Parede La, and 5 Latinos named Herbert Sanchez Dominguez. I know about that one. Victor Manuel Diaz. I know about them. Luis Beltran Yanez Cruz. I didn't know about them, actually. Luis Gustavo Nueves Cacares and Geraldo Lunes Campos. I knew about some of these names, which I should actually mention. I'm going to go on X real fast. I'm actually going to go on X. I don't think anything is there that's crazy. I just see sex ed on the side, which, oh God. Oh no, sex ed. How will people ever recover from that? It's not likes. It's not that. No way! Wait, no way! Got banned by a person. Oh my fucking God, that's funny as fuck. Sorry, there's a very popular person who's a grifter who I co-retweeted from my thing, and they banned me. That's funny as hell. Here it is. I do want to note I did do a thing talking about the when the Rev stuff happened. I brought up all the I found something on Reddit, which I credited them, showing all the people that up to this point who were killed, in custody or out of custody, by ICE. DM me a name to block after. I will try to do exactly that. I'm very bad at it. I don't remember his name, but I will do my best to find it, because I've seen a few things of his somewhere. If you want the list of people that went over and what is it called, that unfortunately died here. Good thing I never use X. That's fair. I use it for advertising and like trying to talk to my community, which is unfortunate. I do kind of hate that I've built a more being able to be more vocal and heard more on X instead of like Blue Sky or something. It's unfortunate, but oh well, you know, that's just what happens, I guess. But yeah, for the journalist here, they were on a Scribes thing, right? And I want to verbatim talk about his response. I'm trying to remember exactly what it is. At the time, Levin responded by saying Minaj was out of her depth. He doubled down on those comments and told Script News, so I said, why do African Americans support her? Why do gay people support her? Members of the LGBT community support her? You shouldn't, because she's a homophobe and she's a racist. She's racist, I believe, against Black Americans. And frankly, if you're going over and siding with the person that is trying to get rid of different races and gender roles, then yeah, those are very, very thing there, yeah. You sure you know she was? Oh yeah, no. Actually, no. Wasn't she outside of the car? Wasn't she outside of the car during the video? I mean, obviously she brought him with her, but. Yeah, she wasn't the wife outside of the car, I should say. Because I know Renee Good was at least potentially lesbian, maybe bi or pan, I'm not sure. And had their wife with them outside of the car, and that's the person I was talking about. Why don't you get yourself some lunch, big boy? When they were talking to the ICE officer. She had an ex-husband. Yes, no, I remember that. I know about the ex-husband, I know about the ex-husband as well. Was it the dad or the ex-husband that was trying to get the fucking kid after Renee died while their wife was like right there? God, these are the reasons why I have low faith in people, man. These are the reasons I have low faith in people. Ex-husband's dad saying the kid had no one. Okay, got it. Thank you. But yeah, nah, freaking, I hate people for a reason, dog. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I guess I'm glad that they're, what's it called? Not knowing the age of the kid or the existence of other, I think 2 kids? Oh, I've never heard about these other 2 kids. That's crazy. Well, I guess 3 kids now have no mom. Well, not no mom. Have a mom. But you know what I mean. Have lost a mom, I should say. Sometimes humanity just wants to. Yeah, I feel that. I'm glad that people are starting to get behind Alex, especially the ones, you know, the people with guns are going over and being like, wait a minute, that's not right, and starting to turn over because their guns are being threatened. Which is funny as fuck, but you know what? Welcome on over, friendo, I guess. F the orphan narrative, but they still had a lot of loss. Oh, absolutely had a lot of loss. It's fucking horrible. It's horrible. Imagine being a kid. Oh, by the way, mommy's not coming back. The ICE agent shot her in the face for doing nothing. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's the fun Don Lemon. They're going out. They're going to be, I assume they're going to be out soon. Their lawyers trying to go over and pretty much be like, hey, he was there as a journalist, not as a protester. So they're going to try to use that to get out of this. But we're going to have to see, I guess. My brother idolizes the U.S.? I need help. Tell him, as someone that lives in the U.S., you don't want to do that. You don't want to idolize the U.S. The U.S. fucking sucks. For the culture, see, that's the problem, right? The problem is with the culture. In the U.S., it's legal to shoot him. True. Tell him The problem is that capitalism destroyed the culture. Yo, I watched a short yesterday. This is just going on to be a different yapping session, which, like, fair enough, man. We could have more things, right? I watched a short, like, yesterday, which was talking about a lot of stuff in the US being, like, unhealthy. And I was one of the people that were, like, thinking it was just, like, different chemicals in the food, as well as, like, the different foods that are, like, being forced to use. And I knew some of the stuff, right? Or whether even wants to call it true. And it's one of those things because it's like, well, a lot more places have walkable cities. But it's like, oh, did you know that the US was rated 3rd best in food? Like, what? But then how in the world? And then you're like, oh, well, other places have, like, more walkable cities. And, I forget exactly what it is. And there's, like, work, and they're super stressed, so they don't work out as much as other places. There was also the fact that the culture likes to push us towards ultra-processed foods because it's better for companies, and they're able to make it easier, as well as, you know, they want to keep being reliant on the fucking thing and stuff like that. And it just helped me realize that fucking capitalism sucks, dog. I mean, granted, I obviously already knew that, but oh my god, I didn't know how much it just destroyed everything. It's also kind of a homophobe. Damn. Don't worry. When he sees a pretty young guy, he's gonna go over and be like, oh no, I have feelings. But what is it? But yeah, it really is just the thing of like, damn, I didn't know how much capitalism just destroyed the fucking US. Because I knew it, like, just hurt the fucking US, of course. But I didn't know how much it is. I've been reminded today that I had my first sub sandwich that I can remember. How was it? Was it good? You probably will, and then embrace toxic masculinity. Hell yeah. Let me stop. But yeah, it's freaking wild, man. I hate that. We need a whole... we need a whole, like, social shift, dude. We need a whole thing. Throw it in the fucking gutter. It was delicious. The second tomato was a bit too watery. Not unfortunate. I'm glad you liked it. But yeah, it's fucking awful how much capitalism just destroys shit. I've been learning very recently from the stuff I've been going into. I think I'm a socialist. I think I'm a socialist, guys. Like, I've been learning about the different stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, this socialism thing, this actually sounds kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm like, fuck, am I just a socialist? I didn't even know that. You're a trans woman, it was inevitable! Yo, true! Yo, that's so true. These are such facts. You're a trans woman. It was inevitable you become a socialist. Yes, radicalize yourself. It's only a matter of time. Soon I'll have the programmer socks and be good at fighting games. The stereotypes are always true. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm gonna need to edit this for, like, all the comments and shit. This is fucking wonderful. You guys are hilarious. I feel bad. Like, yeah, Transmedia, I miss Lumia, because Transmedia has, like, a lost bit of personality without her. Y'all are making up for some of that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Someone bring her a monster. I gotta go over it. Just fucking drink the white monster, like... Meanwhile, here I am with the iced tea. I mean, you do fighting games and Warhammer. How are you in Warhammer 40k? I've never actually played Warhammer 40k. I want to look into it though. I've been playing D&D. Warhammer seems cool. The world seems really cool. Occasionally in the stereotype natures. Damn. Damn, it's only a matter of time. The stereotypes get us all in the end. what's it called? What else do we have though? Right. Hey man, you want to hear some more good news? Well, actually, you know what? We'll actually get some good news first before we go to more bad news. I kind of want to end it with good news, but it's been an hour of like full bad news, and like I almost became trans because of computer science. Please, chance we play a game and a grumbler if you want. Oh hell yeah! I would love to. I would love to have like a whole trans community drag me into Warhammer, kicking and screaming. It's like, you're gonna learn about the fucking people that can eat Pennywise for breakfast. I might be gender fluid. Well, that's good to know. Hey, listen. If anything, if there's any time you need me to call you she, her, I'll be more than happy to do so, and you can tell me how you feel, okay? Hi, femboy pigeon. How you doing? We're talking about bad news, trans news in particular. Rather so stick online is the director who labels themselves the stereotype to remember them. That's crazy. Well, that felt kind of good. Aww, look at her. Look at her. Look at her, chat. Make fun of her. Look at her, chat. Bully a poor woman. Ridicule me. I don't know if this affiliation applies to me. This is understandable. Like, I mean, it's just stuff there. Nah, I ain't gonna make fun. Damn it. Damn it, no, we have good people. What the fuck is this? Also, reminding of the Ben 10 RPG news. Hell yeah, Ben 10 RPG is coming out. That's awesome. It's amazing. I'm so happy about that. But I guess we're just also sharing, like, life stuff. So if anything's been happening with you, let me know. Let me know, femboy pigeon. But yeah, don't worry. You don't have to do that to know that, what is it called? Here's some good news. A huge lawsuit. With a huge lawsuit, Trump administration now does not have as any info on, trans children, which is pretty sick. June 2025, the United Department of Justice subpoenaed the CHLA, which would go over and what is it called? Which would go over and they helped they bleh, words. Which has helped the lawyers make a blueprint that would allow healthcare for a lot of different trans youths. However, the Department of Justice wanted to try and take this. However, they were not able to do so because people were based. Quote, it was apparently declared for, quote, issued for an improper purpose, motivated only by bad faith, which is most things anti-trans. We'll give you a polymorph of Florida if I ever find a text Discord or something. Oh, that's funny. I would love to. I need to get into more role-playing games. I say that. I'm in 3 different campaigns now at this point. I'm scared. I don't have enough time for this. Help, help, help. But yeah, no. I can understand being scared for your family, especially when it comes to this kind of thing, because I'm sure they're in a culture where it is specifically like, Europe just had one? Oh, hell yeah. Give me the tea. Give me the tea. Give me the tea, man. I'm sure, oh, Christian. Oh, fucking Christian. It's always the goddamn Christian. My God, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop before I actually see something crazy. But yeah, what is it? It's okay. My friend is Christian. My friend is Christian. It's fine. I think my bigger little brother would care. Most people don't, actually. Legitimately good, like, faithful Christians would literally hear it's always the fucking Christians and be like, yeah. It's funny as fuck. It's funny as hell, but you know. But yeah, I can see that, especially like probably being in a culture where it's like holy, you know, where it's accepted that homophobia is that not homophobia, that being like gay or bi or a different gender or a different type and stuff like that is wrong. And if you've learned that since you were a kid, I mean, what's supposed to be right to you? It's understandable. It's fucking wild, man. Let me see here. They brought in a long-awaited ban on conversion therapy, and enough people complained about JK's favorite charity trying to get them involved. They were completely banned from carving out the anti-trans expectations they wanted. Finally, hell yes, we gotta get some good news in this house, dog. I'm so sick and tired of hearing all the bad news. Yes, baby, let's go. Get rid of J.K. Rowling. Fuck her. My god. But yes, thank you for the ban on conversion therapy too. That's one thing I was gonna bring up. I was gonna be something at the end. We were gonna watch a video that was happening on conversion therapy. Like, I've essentially just turned into a fucking React channel at this point. But like, for when it comes to Transmedia. But like, freaking, there was gonna be like a whole thing where people speak out about their freaking trans. Keep the Harry Potter books. I don't even want to keep the Harry Potter books. I'm really learning that just Harry Potter is not a well-written story. I'm not a fan of it. News has to go that way a bit. I mean, fair, yeah, it gets people interested for the bad news, but I always hated the news for being bad. I always hated the news for just being bad. Like, as a kid, I was always like, why the fuck are they just talking about the bad news, right? Wasn't there a guy that was solving the flu for a little while? Where's he? And I remember that one in particular because it actually happened. There was a guy that was like solving the flu at one point, and he just disappeared off the face of the earth. Like, they didn't say if it failed, they didn't say if it succeeded, what the fuck happened? I'm like fucking going over the thing there. Still inherently acting these either way, even if good is good to see. I mean, true. Kind of has. Unfortunately, the nature of news shows, essentially like this, is reacting to news. There's so many plot holes. There's absolutely so many plot holes. This makes fucking sense. I fucking can't with Harry Potter. I was a fan when I was younger. I watched the movies, and then later on I tried to get back into it. I couldn't. I didn't know why. I was just bored. And then there's Fantastic Beasts, and that was just bad. That was just straight up bad. So, like, and then the J.K. Rowling shit happened. And that all happened before the J.K. Rowling shit. So I hate even more now. I just want to watch Percy Jackson. Like, the movies. I like the movies. And I heard the books are really fucking good. I read a Percy Jackson book. It's nothing like the movies, and I fucking loved it. He's finding like 3 years later that they went quiet because the U.S. military bought them. Oh, did it? Is that what happened to the guy that was solving the fucking flu? Can I go over and, like, see how their progress is? Come on now. Probably because of the fan fictions. That's understandable. I mean, here's the problem. It's understandable to like Harry Potter. Like, oh, the spider goats? I don't know what the flu. Damn. Fair enough. But it's understandable to like Harry Potter. Because it's like a thing. It's a whole wizard thing. Like, it came out at a time where people were going over and wanted something fantastical in life. And, you know, that's what happened. That's what Harry Potter is. It's a kid, a normal-ass kid, reacting to wizards getting thrown in his fucking face. It was like, oh, also, you're the chosen one. Also, Voldemort wants to kill you. Also, he can't kill you because you're the chosen one again. You're now solving mysteries at the school and doing shit, saving the world and all yada yada yada. And it's fucking like, yeah, kids want to feel that way. I can't blame them. I can't blame them for that. So yeah, I can't blame Razzle for liking it. It's just the problem of, I think that the lore is somewhat interesting. The stories themselves I didn't find very good. And I don't know. I just fell off. And then J.K. Rowling decided to be transphobic, so there's that. I still remember my video on not wanting to buy Hogwarts Legacy. It's fucking crazy how hard it was, apparently, for people to not buy Hogwarts Legacy. That's crazy. Creatures wrestle with the basilisk and cry to Harry killing them. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry. But yeah, shoot. Yeah, no, there's that stuff. Let me see if there's anything in particular that I'm missing. Well, there's a copy of the CHLA, the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles subpoena. Oh fuck, this is like 38 pages. God, I don't know legalese. I can't read all this. I'm bad at this. Well, it's here. Oh hey, if you guys want to see it. If you guys want to see it, it's there. Fucking Christ. And there's nothing, solicited details page from clients. Nothing prevents the DOJ from using patient information to send to FBI agents to interview patients, family members, providers, and friends. And plaintiffs are in fact, DOJ has announced its intention to share intelligence with state agencies, general and partner, to build cases against hospitals and practitioners. They are legitimately just trying to target trans kids, and it fucking sucks. I'm glad that they stopped this, but you can't let this happen in a country, because if it happens in one, it'll happen in all. Enjoy it in private if you like, but please keep it to yourself. I don't want that hate in my culture and media. I want it to lose power and not feel like Hillary can light up my friends' lives. Not anyone here specifically. I'm just British. Hate it. I understand that. I remember the people that were, what is it called? I forget if it was orcs or imps, right? I remember like the goblins and shit, right? That run the banks that totally aren't Jewish. That totally aren't Jewish guys. Trust. Has every single Jewish stereotype in there, but not Jewish. I swear. Fucking can't with that series. My God. You don't know the worst of that. Oh, I don't know the worst of that. I saw that. I knew that part in particular because of what is it called? I was watching another video on it when I was making the Hogwarts Legacy Don't Buy video. So when I was making that video, I was looking for things in Harry Potter. I went down a whole other rabbit hole, and I was like, oh, I can't talk about that because freaking I don't know enough about this. Like, someone else can do it. Oh, ads? Damn. Oh. I'm gonna fucking... Holy shit. That's the only one? More bad news. Hey, do you like bad news? 360 anti-trans bills in the first month of 2026. Ain't that crazy? Spent a year failing to find the port to connect his graphics card to his monitor, so he just didn't use the graphics card for that entire time. Okay, hang on. You know what? That's fair, because the one for the motherboard and the one for the graphics card are right next to each other, depending on where in the world, where you think of it. So you can just plug in, you could just plug it into the motherboard one and not fucking know. Until, you know, you see bad performance, of course. So I can understand that. Granted, I didn't know that he couldn't find the port. How did he find it? There they are, but he's a streamer. You think he'd notice the performance tanking. True, actually. He should have noticed that. He should have noticed that. I'm scared. Are they gonna make an anti-femboy bill next? Femboy Pigeon. Let me tell you something that every single trans person has been saying for the longest time. Transphobia is legitimately 1970s homophobia. The minute they are done with trans people and trans people are gone or illegal or something, anyone that does not have the norm is next. If you are gay, you're next. If you are a feminine leaning guy, you're next. Then it goes over to race. If you're part of interracial marriage, you're next. If you're black, you're next. If you're Asian, you're next. The minute JK Flashy was done with Trans Deal for literally a day, she started attacking A-sex. Exactly. The attack is a thing. This attack is, again, it's being like brought to trans people because they're the easy target right now. Because like they're the ones you can, because gender is so weird. You can just be like, oh, these guys just pretending to be people, and they're trying to threaten the kids and the people in the bathrooms and whatever the fuck. And we have evidence for days that that's not happening, but people will fucking try it anyway. And the minute they are done with it, they will move on to the next thing to attack. Because that's how it works. You go through one thing, and then you keep making bill after bill after bill to make it illegal. And then the people that are in other groups, like the LGBT Alliance, right? The essentially homophobic, like people to themselves, right? They are a anti-trans group. But what do you think will happen after trans people are gone? Then the bi people are next. Then the gay people are next. Now the LGBT Alliance would be like, oh shit, help. And then who's gonna help them? Not the trans people. They can't do anything. They made sure of that. And now they're gone. They are getting rid of all of their allies. The people that would help. Essentially, like, anyone that would go over into, like, be like a Stonewall person nowadays would be gone. And then they're next. Maybe LGBT in the first. Oh, true. Fair enough. That's a fact. That's fair. That's facts, actually. Yeah, they are homophobic to themselves. They would require them to be LGBT in the first place. So technically, you would be screwed. Granted, probably a lot farther down the line, in which case you're probably safe for the rest of your life regardless. But still, eventually it would come down to femboys. And femboys would have to be put back in the closet and just be regular men, you know? Regular old men, which is what everyone wants. The normal, the cis-het normative. And that's why we did it, cis-het normative. Go over to my LGBT terms thing. Cis-het normative is there for a reason. This is help that somehow succeeding helps encourage them. But who's in a gay marriage? I really am screwed. Oh, they'd go after gay marriage first, to be fair. Don't worry. They'd want to get rid of that first. So the femboy identity's fine. At that point, you would just have to not marry. Granted, obviously, you'd still be a couple, but they'll probably go after that, too. Fucking hate it here. But somehow succeeding helps them encourage them. True, yes. Because, like, like, have you seen the stuff for trans sports? Legitimately, if they get, like, a good placement, they're like, no, this means they're threatening the sports space run. Yeah, they're already going after gay marriage. True, right, they are. That is something that's been happening. I haven't seen that as much, though. There's been a lot of trans stuff and ICE stuff and blah, blah, blah. So that's been taking up a lot of my focus. Man, I wanted to make this thing that, like, when it came to, like, what's it called, the new channel, I wanted to make it all informative. I didn't want to have as much politics in it, but here we are in the future. It's just fucking politics. I hate it here. I hate it in America. Give them an inch to take a mile. Absolutely. That is the thing. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. That's the reason why everyone's like, we don't want anything banned, the things banned in this state. You don't want this stuff happening in this state because they'll just do it all over the place. I mean, what happened to, like, ban, right? It was in Florida in, like, 2023, and then in 2025, Texas is now doing it. Oops, it seems to have spread. That's crazy. How'd that happen? But yeah, already a month into 2026, And there's like, what, 360 anti-trans bills that have been done so far? Yeah, an actively updated tracker created by the American Civil Liberties Union has already recorded 366 anti-trans bills tabled across 36 U.S. states since the beginning of this year. Despite most Americans see the current government has issues with transphobia. Yeah, unfortunately, no, they fucking hate the thing there. Love and hate that saying. Why is that? Curious now. Yeah, since 2023, there's been 2,000 statewide drug laws targeting different community rights. And just over half the bills have been passed, while 211 have passed into the law, which is annoying because we fucking. I want to fucking. I can't, man. I can't, man. I mean, 2025 is crazy. Like, let me see here. When did 2020? How many did 2025 pass through? Here it is. Pride Month with. Oh no. Yes, Pride Month 2025 was the deadliest in the country's history, with only 268 anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ incidents across the county, a 400% increase compared to previous years. How many was 2025? Okay, Project proposed a record-breaking number of anti-trans bills in 2025, with an estimated 616 bills tabled last year alone. 616. 59%. 59% of how many bills were passed last year have passed this month. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that one. I'm not gonna front with y'all. I don't know how to feel about that one. For goofy stuff, I hate it for stuff like that. I mean, the problem is just fits. Because, like, this is what's happening here. Like, actually, it fits in with the story. The whole thing for Given It Shall Take a Mile is happening here. So they had the 616 already for that one. And now, over half of that same amount of bills has happened in this month alone. There are 11 more months in a year, dude. Oh, here's a good news before we get to another thing. Fox News poll. Americans prefer Democrats on transgender issues. 22 votes. Look at that. Good news. Good news, everyone. Unfortunate that Dan's left for the good news. Good news, everyone. He's in a weird place with that. That's understandable. He doesn't because he's a good dad most of the time. Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, to be fair, at that point, you gotta just learn the racist out of it. They're very learned behaviors. That's absolutely a learned behavior. He has to go over and get rid of that. And XC can choose to help him with that if she wants to. But she does not have to do that. That is not on her. And she does not have to be in a relationship with him if he continues to do that. That is also not on her. He has to figure that out on his own. And if he can't, well, you know, friends' grandchildren aren't better. It's the friends you keep. I think it's the friends you keep. Because legitimately, wholeheartedly, I think it's the friends that are out here. He grew up in a circle like that. He grew up in a bigoted circle, unfortunately. He has bigoted friends. And, like, racist friends, I guess, as well. So, yeah. Of course, there's mild racism in the group. They probably do it all the time. Okay, we got this. American for Fox over transgender issues. I did not read this one in particular. for transgender issues, which party would do better by race? Everyone in ooh, even white people are talking about Democrats going, oh hell yeah, that's one hell of a win. I know in particular that what is it called? That a lot of people that were white voted for Trump. So this is a nice change of pace. It's a nice change of pace, man. God, I think the one, legitimately, wholeheartedly, the one good thing about the Trump administration is that Republicans are seeing just how bad things really are when it's brought to their logical extreme. And they're like, oh, I'm not comfortable with this. And then every Democrat's like, good, be uncomfortable. That's how we feel. Vote correctly. Vote correctly next time and listen to us. That's one reason they put out that short before. It's one of those things that's like, yeah, I'm glad y'all are uncomfortable. Vote correctly next time. You fucked us over so hard for 25 years. We have to do a lot to fix it. Well, even longer than that. But still, we have to do a lot to fix it. We come in for the long haul. You brought us into this mess. You're sure as hell living through getting us out. Maybe it'll be better people by the end. Who knows? So we've got, what is it called? Ooh. Rural, subterranean, and urban. What else do we have? Leave Republicans still... Oh, voters typically assume to leave Republicans still favor Democrats on transgender issues. But rural voters also brought the Democrats' favor. Even then, Democrats held a 10-point advantage. This suggests that Republicans may be losing an advantage they long believed they had based on assumptions on prejudice in rural areas. That's interesting. White Catholics are really close. White evangelical goes over into 57%. Catholics, white Catholics, and Protestants. It's interesting how crazy religion makes that 50-50. Religion essentially makes that whole 50-50. People, I'm back. Hey, welcome back. We've got some good news. Good news, everyone. We're talking about how a lot of people are now voting for, what is it called? Are now saying that Democratic people are better at talking about trans issues, which is awesome, by the way. Really breaking these stereotypes. I'm happy about that. There's some things that have been going well. It's just that there's so much horrible shit that the administration is doing, especially to cover up for like the Epstein files and shit, and like what they did in Chicago, what ICE did in Chicago. Like, y'all don't forget Chicago. Don't forget the Epstein files. But it's fucking crazy how much they're trying to just go over and make so much fucking chaos that some things may get lost in the shuffle. Yeah, we've been going over and mostly been blue. The first person that has had like a whole demographic go red has been white evangelical people. Catholics, white Catholics, and Protestants are all talking about how Democrats are better at stating about what is it called, trans topics. However, it is more so 50-50 than in the other areas, because these are like 44 and 50, right? This one's around 43, 63, 64, and this was higher up by race, with like 71 to 28 for black. Obviously, when it gets to white, it gets a little bit closer for obvious reason, and then there's non-white as well. Ooh, that's the end there. Democrats were well against both religious groups. They held and edged Catholics, including white Catholics, as well as some Protestants. I want to see where do they talk about evangelical people. Here it is. Even among evangelical Christians, one of the few constitutions still lead Republican on transgender issues. Support for the trans-democratic approach was substantial, with 41% siding with Democrats. Well, that's nice. Evangelicals? I don't know what the plural is. Let me look this up real fast because I want to make sure I get this correct. What's the thing here? So I think it's specifically So evangelicalism, I think, is a very specific movement within Protestant Christianity, which is based on personal conversation or like personal talks with Jesus himself or with God himself. Essentially, all evangelical people are Christian, but not all Christians are evangelicals. And believe that they've like directly talked with the Lord. This is an outsider looking in. I'm not good enough at this to really, really identify this shit. Please take it with a grain of salt. Because I'm just like, fuck. I'm kind of spitting. I mean, what? But yeah, the only demographic here has been white evangelicals on if Republicans would do better on transgender issues. Which is wild to me, by the way. But yeah, black voters being the most strongest supporter for Democratic parties is not crazy. Especially after that vote. Especially after the vote for the president. Yeah, no, black supporters being the strongest in voting a blue is nowhere near a surprise. Because Jesus Christ, man. It was crazy how many people were like... Granted, the fact that some even voted red was wild, but... what is it called? Freaking house Negroes be house Negroes, I guess. But, you know, regardless. Let me think. Yeah. But yeah, most of us were... Thank you for hydrate. ADHD kicking my ass right now. But yeah, most people are... most people for black folk pretty much like voted blue for the majority of that whole shit, right? And obviously there's a lot of people in the black community that have been fighting for people's rights for the longest time. So yeah, generally speaking, it's just like very, very, very... It's not surprising that this is the result for that. And that unfortunately, that people that are like, what is it called, white, kind of have a, closer affiliation there. I guess Hispanic is interesting as well because it's higher than black, which is odd to me. That one was odd in the vote too. A lot of Hispanic people were a lot closer to voting red. I'm not sure why exactly that one is. I wonder if it's like a culture thing or what have you, but I honestly don't know. Yeah. That's most of the stuff for our news segment today. However, there is one interesting thing that I want to talk about today, actually. And it's a video I want to look at and like react to. People are oddities. This is true. There is a...
Writing a book is hard.
I don't want to write a... No. A Peter Pan Goes Wrong... I love Peter Pan Goes Wrong, by the way. I didn't mean to click that, though. But Peter Pan Goes Wrong is awesome. But... So, for those of you who don't know... There is a thing called the Trevor Project. Now, the Trevor Project is very well known within LGBT spaces. Peter Pan goes wrong. How does it go wrong? Oh, I need you to watch. You should watch the YouTube video. It's so fucking good. Goes Wrong is a series where they go over and do like little stories and essentially, you know, things go wrong in them. Obviously calculated, but like, oh my god, it's so funny. Peter Pan Goes Wrong is a whole play of Peter Pan, but with that same gimmick. And oh my fucking god, it's so hilarious. Fantastic lowbrow humor. Absolutely. You nailed it on the head. Dan, you're so much better at talking than me. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? But yeah. The Trevor Project is a cool little company. Don't know if you heard about them. They do a lot of stuff for trans communities, right? Recently, they've been having a series called Sharing Space. This started 2 years ago with Daniel Radcliffe. Specifically, that was when um specifically Daniel Radcliffe's episode was when the stuff for what was it? For LGBT not LGBT. The stuff for that new that remake of Harry Potter, was it? The remake of Harry Potter was coming out, right? Oh, his talk show turned into the series? I think so. I don't know if it was like a thing of him doing it in particular or if there's something there. I don't know if it was him in particular. I think he was
just
invited to the
allowing your
show, if
kids
I
to
remember
truly
correctly. Yeah, episode 1 was Daniel Radcliffe. Episode 2 was Nova Bright. And I think he wanted to talk about it because of the whole J.K. Rowling stuff. That being said, after that, they started doing a lot of stuff with this. 2 years ago, they did a thing for Nova Bright, and I don't think it ever got any farther. However, there is now a video that was made 3 days ago, which I think is supposed to be in the yeah, it's supposed to be in the Sharing Space series, which is episode 3, talking about conversion therapy survivors, and I kind of want to talk about that. He's pretty good at speaking out. I've heard some of the stuff that he was talking about. Good shit on him. I'm probably not gonna watch the Harry Potter thing though, but still. So you just don't watching this stuff in here. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But I wanted to watch the thing for this because
I'm just like, wow, who could I be if I didn't spend my life fighting for my identity?
I think what is it called? How does theater mode work? Does theater mode work well with this? It does work well with this. But yeah, I wanted to go over and talk about it because I think it's pretty important to see stuff for this because I haven't actually seen this yet, and I think it's good to see. There's Harry Potter, but the woman in black is pretty. Oh, that's true. That is true. I mean, they're always pretty. I mean, what? Sorry. But yeah, I wanted to talk about stuff for conversion therapy. The whole conversion therapy survivors is fucking. Um, I think it's important because like I'd never actually seen much for conversion therapy survivors. Because wholeheartedly, legitimately, I've never seen that. And I want to go over and like I want to, if anything, I want to try to see if there are like a few clips we can look
My
at.
parents wanted the best for me, but like they had their own view of the world, right? And I didn't match that view.
Who are you doing this for? When you subject your kid to conversion therapy, who are you really doing this for? I think that's an important question to ask.
So what's this?
Conversion therapy was banned in many places through bipartisan efforts.
Of it.
And we are now seeing a resurgence of that
Wording
in the
your
news
coward.
and in
True.
legislative efforts.
True.
Can anyone tell us a little bit about what is currently happening?
Yeah. One of the things that I saw,
what's it called?
The phrase used to be change is possible. And then there was a very subtle language shift to this change is possible to like, instead of saying it's possible, it's like, well, I changed. and I'm just telling my story. And they did this thing where it became,
Found
well,
something
you know,
Raz
we're
will
not
say.
telling
I know she
people to
saved it
change,
because of the title.
but
Damn.
there's all this evidence,
That's
air
funny.
quotes, evidence of change. Because this is a social tool, it
What's it called?
reformulates every few years. And
Mm.
the objections of 15 years ago, those are, we're not using those anymore. We've got new ones.
So
think
that's
the
something I'm
strategy to
interested
that,
in.
a lot of it playing
Oh,
into
fuck.
what we're seeing politically right now.
Damn.
The executive order that the administration released recently that has transgender affirming healthcare
Damn, these guys are just
up against
fucking
essentially
at my, what's it called? Yo, these guys are at my fucking level. Freaking, I was about to say, I'm like, yeah, that's something I've noticed when it comes to a lot of these things. When it comes to when it comes to when it comes to specifically like conservative people trying to give a whole show of things, right? They like to manipulate things. They like to cheat a little bit, where it's like, let me move this over here real fast, and then it's like, oh, it's it's a change. Well, I changed, so that's something. They don't like you seeing the last part when they like little, yeah. Oh yeah, no, they aren't mincing words, but they're somewhat chill about it. Well, to be fair, everyone here has survived conversion therapy. There's nothing to mince words about. They've been through the same shit. They've been through the same shit. Hello, hello. How are you doing today? I'm doing well, thank you, Dara. We are just looking at a lot of the some of the stuff for the new Trevor, for the last thing in Transmedia. We're looking at some of the bits of this new Trevor Project's Conversion Therapy Survivors Speak Out video. They've been doing this sharing thoughts series for the past few years, and they only have 3 episodes out, but this one's the 3rd one. It's been out like for 3 days. I don't know if I want to watch the entire thing, because I'd want to encourage people to go over and watch it themselves. But I was looking at some of the stuff in the at least the beginning right now. You're talking about the resurgence of how the conversion camps are coming back, and it's really annoying because they do they're talking about how a lot of the conservative people really like to go over and like change words a little bit, because they like to change words here and there to change the meaning of a sentence, and then they don't want you to look back at what they said before, because that would prove them as the bad people that they are. But yeah, I hope things have been going well, Dara. Have you been doing good? I hope so. Let me see here. Where's the thing there? Are those your ears moving? They are, yes. My little ears are in the back of my head. When they blink and they go boing. Those are my ears, yes. Let me see here. What else do we have for last?
Conversion therapy light, where it's recommending, instead of doing gender affirming care for youth, that parents seek therapy elsewhere, which I think the language that's used opens the door to it literally just being filling in the blank with the words conversion therapy
doing all myself.
or
Well, I'm
reparative therapy.
glad.
So you're talking about the rebranding of conversion therapy and the adjustment in terms of how it's being presented, even in social media.
God, do I
hate influencers on social.
God, do I hate the fact that conversion therapy is still called conversion therapy? Can we just call it torture? Like, that's what it is. It's what it is. You hurt kids in order to get them to say, no, I'm not gay anymore, I promise, I swear. And if you don't believe them, you hurt them again. It's torture. Don't just say it. It should not be labeled therapy. Absolutely not. It's labeled therapy because therapy is like always a thing that helps people, right? But the problem comes in that conversion therapy is that technically we can't just stop saying conversion therapy, because then someone will say conversion therapy again, and they won't know what the fuck it means. But at the same time, we can't. It fucking sucks. We have to call it therapy in the first place, because fucking therapy is supposed to help people. Yeah, it's not supposed to be like the most pleasant experience in the world, but it's supposed to help people. You're not supposed to literally torture kids, dog. It's stupid. It's stupid and wrong. I forget what it stands for, but ABA is the autism equivalent. I'm actually curious about this. I'm gonna look that up right fucking now. ABA. What does that stand for? ABA therapy for autism. Compass ABA therapy. I love seeing fucking applied behavioral analysis. Is that what it's called? There's no way. That's the one? Ah, fuck. They're trying to sell that as good. They're trying to sell that to me as a good thing. Disgusting. Disgusting. Disgusting! Man, I think we'll skip forward a little bit. From rebranding, I do want to go over and look at the... Oh, and it has everyone's different accounts. Well, actually, we'll go up to everyone's different accounts then, because we want to go... I'll go at least to... before everyone's different accounts and the healing journey.
Social media. What is that like for you all to have this continuing to be so present and persistent?
The definition of how it's labeled the worst.
For me,
therapy definition: treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder. Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
The Supreme Court, and where the basis is that it's a violation of this person's
you gotta remember.
rights.
You gotta remember that that therapy is supposed to be a thing, because remember, they want to see transness, gayness, and stuff as a disorder. It's something that needs to be cured, that needs to be fixed. But obviously it doesn't have to be. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to solve. There's no need to cure it. Why would you cure it if it's not a disease? What if it's just a person's way of life? What if it's just like a thing, like their gender? Can't do that. It's very much for torturing kids with forced eye contact and stuff, and forcing them to behave like neurotypical people without getting rid of any underlying racism and enduring having to behave that way. So they're teaching people how to mask. Like, they're forcefully teaching people how to mask, is what I'm hearing. Which is annoying, because you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that to kids. They get rid of the... So I get it. So that's why. Because they stated as getting rid of the behaviors, and it does get rid of the behaviors by you masking them. The kids mask the behaviors, which is horrible, because kids masking is... I fucking hate masking. I hated masking so much. I'm so bad at it. Can you tell I was bad at masking? Oh my god.
That one is a struggle for me, because we have all the data that proves that when a person goes through conversion therapy, you are putting their life at risk.
And yet they don't listen to it anyway. Why would they listen to data?
Trans person seeing some of the content that comes up, I can't imagine.
Oh fuck, he's trans? That's crazy. I didn't even notice.
Especially having come out of conversion therapy.
So good. I love his fucking thing. I didn't even know he was trans. I don't think it... Did it mention it on his card if he was trans? I think it's just because he didn't mention it on his fucking card. Did he say he was trans?
Yeah. One of the things that I saw, the phrase used to be change is possible.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say he's trans. It doesn't say if they're trans or straight or anything like that. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
View of God, higher power, what's right in the world, and the therapist is showing up, air quotes about the title of therapist, but that person is showing up to impose that onto the person who is coming to them so much. And I think that sets up the danger. There's a very distinct difference in what's happening when people show up for therapy that is peer-reviewed, that has empirical evidence.
See, the problem comes in. That's the problem.
When
there.
people are showing up to
be, they're getting shoved into these boxes.
Specific ideology.
Yeah, no, fucking, I hate this. I hate that, man. It's not it's the same general idea, of course. It's forcing you to behave in a way that isn't you because that's normal. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Conversion therapy is a very similar idea to that ABA stuff, and that is just masking. You're just masking. Like, freaking. Granted, masking I don't think is like a LGBT term that's typically used as often. I think it's more something in just like, autism and other cognitive behaviors. But yeah, no, masking is just the kid or an adult learning this is what you're supposed to do, and then doing that instead, and then forcing himself to do that because it's normal. I've had to try to learn more eye contact. It's in my nature to just not look at people's eyes, but they kept forcing me to look at my parents' eyes until I was just like, okay, you know what? I'll fucking do it. I'll fucking look at people's eyes. I'll look at your eyes. I'll stare at it. I'll stare into your soul. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, and it's crossover and it's relevant. No, absolutely. It's absolutely, there is crossover and it's relevant to a long-term harmfulness for individuals. I look people in the mouth. That's understandable, actually. Like, that's understandable, actually, especially if you're trying to discern words and you're, like, trying to read lips as well to make sure you understand it. That makes sense. That makes sense. I've been doing this at work because I've been trying to look at people's eyes, but I swap over to the different eyes in the room because it's, like, one of those things of you're supposed to look people in the eye and treat them with respect and shit, but I've been swapping to their different eyes and shit. So it's like I go over, I look here, I look there, I look here, I look there, because I'm trying to address everyone. Their face, you don't give a damn, and noses bore me. This is the facts, man. I just go over and I look around and shit, dude. I look around all the time. I can't look at people's eyes 90% of the time. Eyes are boring. They're white. Well, not all eyes are boring. Some eyes are very pretty. You know you have a banger when you have someone's eyes and you look at them like, wow, I could look into your eyes forever, actually. Forever, actually. Would you mind?
The importance that we hold on to that difference and not
so
let the two
annoying.
get washed in together.
Also, I would just add that a therapist is never gonna, at least like in my 6 years now of going to a real therapist, they never tell me what to do. They're never going to say,
that's true. That's one thing
you need
as
to
well.
do this.
A doctor would not tell. They would not tell you you need to do this. They give you tools to deal with shit, but they can't tell you how to deal with the shit because everyone's different.
How would you feel if the situation was reversed? Like, yeah, those types of
ADHD,
questions.
it does not
A
move
licensed
to
therapist
autistic
would
for the sheer
appropriately
intensity
and
of
according
eyes.
to their ethics
Oh, yeah, that's understandable.
do conversion therapy. It's a
That's
violation.
understandable.
Exactly.
Fucking hate this
I
shit.
appreciate all of the information that you all shared with us about conversion therapy.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if we can talk a little bit more about your own personal experiences with conversion therapy.
And I think this is where we are going to stop for that because I don't want to just have this be reacting to the video itself. I'd want to encourage y'all to actually go over and fucking like watch this shit. Here's the link. Y'all do that shit, man. Do it. Do it. Watch it. Watch it on your time. Definitely go over and do the thing because like I think that it's important. Now I have to open my email. Now I have to open my email? How does that open your Oh, no. You turn your email? That's crazy. But yeah, I don't want it to just be us watching this video because, like, someone else put work into this video. We have to go over and respect that. I guess that was all the stories I wanted to cover today. So these will get them supported, I think, and I hope. I wouldn't doubt it if there was some that just supported conversion therapy because people are heinous beings. But I do think we saw that there is a little bit of hope. At least at the end of January, we do have a lot of hope that there are some things that will be changed. We just have to weather out the storm because, oh my fucking god, this administration is crazy. Anyway, midterms are coming up soon. Please do your part and vote blue. If you... Well, I shouldn't say vote blue because that sounds different. It's become like, what's it called? Vote Democratic, I should say. Please do your part and do that. go over, call your Dems, call your what is it called? Call your, like, what is it called? The senators and shit. Please, 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 please. We need help. We need help, and no one's coming to save us. We can't have anybody save us because no one fucking likes us. Like, no one's coming to save us. We just have to do it now.